All right. 2 glasses of ice water. We are going to live stream the build of Marble Machine X. I have my friend Sam with me, and I'm excited. We are going to try to make a lot of progress on the actual machine here in the streams. So, welcome everyone. All the one viewer probably is here. Yeah, we're gonna do some drivetrain design, and we've been trying to find our paces in how we can share the Marble Machine journey best with all of you. And we've decided to try some extensive live streaming. We're going to do weekly recaps on Wednesdays. So first weekly recap will be next Wednesday. So if you don't have the time to sit and watch me stare at my screen for 6 hours per day, you can check a 10-minute quick recap on Wednesdays. And you are going to be fully up to date with the Marble Machine progress. But I'm really excited about this, Hannes, because we've designed this way of making content to keep me working. So that's what we're going to do today. Yeah.
Awesome. And I already see people are finding us. So we are actually live. Let's just take a quick here. We have from Tom Bombadil.
Perfect.
Hello from Canada. 5 a.m. here.
Good morning, Bombadil. Tom Bombadil is an ancient creature who doesn't need sleep, so I understand why you're already up. So, no, very nice to have you here. Okay, so what I'm working on today is that I'm working on this. What can I say? It's master part model. So this actual CAD, this model is only driving the CAD. So we have the master assembly that is being driven by what I just showed you. And in this assembly, basically only the pedals is true parts. I'm going to redo everything we're seeing because I can't work with this CAD. It's just messy sketch CAD. And I'm also going to learn how to properly work with the master part method. So basically in this stream, it's going to look like nothing is happening because I'm just going to clean this up. But we're going to keep on doing the drivetrain here on the music side. So these are the last 2 gears I added, and we need to connect these gears to some more gears in the music's gear train. And I'm going to figure out where things are going. So that's the drivetrain design task I have today.
Nice. And do we have producer Alphonse with us?
Yes, you do. This is producer Alphonse.
I'm just trying to get all the chats working. So if you could help me, please.
Absolutely.
Do we have any chats going on Twitch? Or can you write a test message for me to see if it works?
I can start the chat here.
I'm naming all my features. So here I'm extruding. So I'm going to rename this as a part of the cleanup. Extrude music gears.
Look at that. We have Alphonse. He's stratting the chat. He's stratting along.
Yes.
So we're multi-streaming to YouTube, Twitch and X simultaneously, and we're planning do 2 streams per working day, apart from Wednesdays when we're recapping and doing a 10-minute video.
Fantastic. And also, Alphonse, then can you head over to X and see if there's any chats going there? If it's not, please send a message.
All right.
So we're setting things up a little bit today in the stream, but
yeah, we're new to this, but we're gonna be pros soon, I promise.
In 10 minutes we're pros. So one feature of the design that I made the other day here is that I really trying to feature these Higgins drive weights. I think it's really nice to see them from the side. Before they were hidden inside the machine, but I feature them on the side here. I think that is going to look really nice. I think I'm going to design the machine to look really vintage, like rusty old vintage clock tower thing. skeleton clock. So that's going to be good, hopefully. So I'm missing a shaft here. Let's create that shaft. I'm just going to get into it from this sketch, probably.
Important question here from Lucci N.
Yeah.
Cladding today or CADing? Question mark.
That's a very good question, actually. So cladding, for everyone, is Hannes' name when you work with clay in CAD. And it's a perfect question because we're trying to get from clad to CAD today. So by cleaning this up, I will be able to, I would say CADing, because these are actually perhaps the real CAD that I'm working on today. That's why I'm naming everything correctly and stuff.
Nice.
So this shaft. And I'm also going to put stuff into sub-assemblies. So I have, we have the drivetrain assembly, and it's currently looking only like this. And to show you a little bit, Hannes, what the master part model is doing, you see these pedals here?
Yes.
They are getting all their main information from this yellow box here.
Mm-hmm.
So if I make this box longer, wait. This one. No. 100.
Hannes, are you getting any X messages?
No. Could you could you send me the URL on Teams?
Yes, on Teams.
So here, Hannes, if I drag this out and I make this box comically large like this, when we go over to the assembly, check what happens with the pedals. They become magically larger like that.
Oh, cool.
So this is like when I learn how to connect a master part blob, as Derek calls it, all these things are following. So when I go back and I redo the shape of this blob, the pedals are down to the size. And this is the method, so they're back to normal. And this is the idea with all the wheels, that what we see here on the flywheel is just a blob. And later, I'm going to do that later today, I can go in and add a lot of details to this blob that will follow the size. So I can actually go in here and I can change this size of this flywheel, make it smaller like this. And then now it's smaller, but all the details will follow. So everything we're seeing here is blobs. And I'm going to organize them a little bit better now. I have a lot of other parts in this design, like the drums and stuff. I can show them. I have like a lot of other parts, and these are all badly done. So I need to redo all of them to clean this model up. So it's not going to be really riveting, perhaps, but we're doing what we need to make progress.
Awesome sauce. And this whole master part assembly is to make the whole CAD model less cumbersome, right?
Yeah, the idea is
more easy to work with.
Yeah, so if I want to say later that we decide on some kind of skeleton clock frame, and we're realizing it would be really nice to put this shaft here onto this frame, I can like move everything around. So everything is like connecting to everything else and make it look beautiful. And the detailed assembly will just adapt to the changes. So this is a completely new way for me of working, but I totally see it unlocks how I'm going to work in CAD, thanks to Derek teaching me the master part method. And this is what I never got around in Fusion 360 in the previous projects. So I feel I'm building a very solid foundation. All right, I'm going to get into the actual work here. So I'm going to name this shaft. So yeah, really cozy to have everyone's company, and so happy to have Hannes and Alphonse with me on this journey here today.
Of course. And we also have a lot of people tuning in, like Elaine. It says, good morning, Martin and Hannes and Alphonse. Very early here in the States. I've got my coffee and ready to go. Haven't been to bed yet and almost missed you all. Hope your day is productive.
Thank you, Elaine. Appreciate that. Yeah, Hannes is going to take care of you all. He's reading chat. He's reading all the 3 chats, hopefully.
I'm trying to get there. Alphonse? Producer Alphonse?
Yes, producer Alphonse here.
Hannes to control tower.
Yes.
Can you try to write something on X again?
Absolutely.
See if it is working now. I don't think so, but let's try.
We got some comments over there. So, but let's see. I write
a new one. Hello from Vancouver.
Oh, nice.
Glad to see you're active. Hello from Philippines. People are tuning in from everywhere.
Comment is dropped.
What's a live stream without some troubleshooting, right? It's good that I have something to do here behind the scenes as well. So I
should start with this probably. Okay.
I will write to you on Teams, Alphonse.
Okay.
And I'm going to work on the CAD setup on this gear pair. The conveyor gears 1A and 1B should go into a part studio of their own, where I can also demonstrate how we're adding more details to these blobs in the part studio. So I am create a new part studio, and I'm going to rename this C-Conv, short for conveyor gears 1. And we're going to derive, this is how the master part method work. So we're going to derive these parts, and that's why it's so important that we're been naming them clearly. So where's all our blobs? In the master part marble machine, we should find, here's our 2 gears, conveyor gear 1A and 1B. I think we also want a shaft. No, the shaft was already there, I think. So these are derived here. And they are actually stuck in their positions, which is exactly what we want. So now, when we're in the part studio for these gears, I can add some details in here and to refine the design. And now it's important how I do that. So I use the blob shape. So I'm going to create, I think I want a mid-plane. But I'm not using mid-plane. You can do plane, you can use a mid-plane. But I'm actually using mate connector and trying to get it there. That's the middle. So I'm adding a mate connector in the middle there. And then we can sketch on that mate connector. It automatically goes for symmetric position. So it just puts itself in the middle there. So I'll add a sketch on that mate connector, and we can sketch. And now Now I'm going to show you the principle, Hannes. Are you ready?
Oh, yes.
By hitting U, I can use geometry.
Stop hitting me.
By hitting the letter U,
Okay.
I can use geometry from the blob. So I'm going to choose the outside, and I'm going to choose this, and I'm going to choose this. And when I change the size of the blob in the first document, the master part method, these lines are always going to change with the new size. So now I can sketch using these lines. So I can make a circle there, a circle there. And if I now make changes here, if I make an extrude, for example, this extrude will always follow the size. So when I change size, everything, all the details I add in here should change with the change of size. Sorry if I didn't explain that perfectly. Starting offset. We're doing entity from this face. I want to make the spokes look a little bit nicer and more refined. So I am changing this into a remove. Let's remove 30 millimeters. I'm going to make the same from the other side. Boom. Starting offset from an entity, we're choosing this face. So everything I'm doing now, I'm thinking that when I change size, this should still be able to do all these operations. Shift P hides everything. So you see now the spokes are a bit thinner, Hannes. I want them a bit thinner still. So 35. Probably I could have done this with less, with only one extrude somehow, but hey.
Look at that.
Yeah, and then we want fillets because that's just beautiful. And then we can, if I right click this edge, we can select equal length. And boom, we have fillets on all our edges.
That is crazy.
It's too big. 30.
Oof.
You like it?
Oof.
I think the fillet on the outside edges should be bigger than on the inside. So I think we have to Okay, I'm not going to spend too much time on that. That looks better. And then I have this idea of I think the center, and that could be good. I think we're gonna color code this a little bit nicer. Let's turn it into some kind of metal color, perhaps. But then I think we're gonna add some wood color to the gears. This is just to get a feeling for how the machine will look.
Great.
Looks a bit better. It's not important, but here's the important part. We added all these details. When I go back to this blob, the blob is still unchanged, but now if I change the size of this gear, do some radical, much smaller, we go to my details, perhaps, and it works. See?
Aha.
So everything I do in these part studios, where I add details, should follow the blob size.
That is pretty awesome.
This one should also have some nicer color.
Great. I will just, in the meantime, I got a question here.
Yeah.
Hannes, will the stream be available for replay on the channel later for non-members, or will it be member exclusive? This is the whole idea. This will be available as video on demand afterwards. So this is not exclusive. This premiere content is for everyone out there. And then, as Martin mentioned earlier, Wintergatan Wednesdays will be back in the form of a weekly recap video where we edit down all the important stuff that has been made during the week into between 10 to 20 minute long video showcasing everything that's been done. For those of you, or for those people out there who doesn't want to spend all their waking time with us and want a clean and concise version of the work. But we're planning to do a lot of live streaming. So, and this will be for everyone to enjoy.
I notice when Hannes is with me, I'm so much more focused. It keeps me focused. I have company when working. So we really try to design this to make me make progress. So I want to show you, Hannes, the last step in this master part process. We have made this blob. Oh, I should actually take back the size 800. So we made this blob in the master part. It's the big blue wheel. We derived those into this part studio. And I do this part studio together because these gears are a pair of gears. But now we need to add this part studio to the master assembly. So in the master assembly, we don't do derive. I don't think it even exists in here. We do insert, and there are some rules for how we're inserting. And Derek taught me this. We're absolutely checking this insert entire part studio as rigid. When that is checked, we can now look for our part studio, and it's here, conveyor gears 1. And now it's loose, so we can put the gears anywhere. Boom. So you see now this is our nice gears with the nice spokes and the nice colors.
Mm-hmm.
But now we want a way to tie the position of this correctly. And we do that over here in the feature tree. So on the conveyor gear, I right click one of the parts, doesn't matter which one, and I add a mate connector. It's behind Hannes here. Add a mate connector to instance origin, which will add this point. And these mate connectors in Onshape are glorious. I start to slowly understand them. So I'm gonna make the origin visible, which is the master assembly origin. It's down here. So now all we need to do is mating with a fasten mate. We hit M. I'm mating this point with the origin point on the assembly. Boom. The gear went into place. So the gear is in the machine there, where it should be. And it looks weird now because I have a lot of old cladding sketch models there. And this is basically what I want to do this stream, probably also the next stream, is I want to clean up all the models in here that doesn't belong to the new master part model. We have some broken CAD. The tuners of the snare drum is broken. I want to clean all that up so I can continue to design this machine. And especially, you see, here we have the straight legs. And I think I'm going to go for something much more beautiful. I don't think these legs are very beautiful, but they symbolize the skeleton clock design I want to do. You know what we should do? We should just hide everything in here. I'm just going to hide everything that is not serious. Oh, I made a mistake. I actually made a mistake here.
No.
I got this is wrong. I should not add this part studio to the master assembly. I should add it to the drivetrain sub-assembly. It's in here. It should be added. So let's redo this. I'm going to delete this insert.
And Martin, I know my main job is to not derail you from your actual work, but I have a favor to ask you. I want to get all the chats working.
Yep.
So please, if you can oblige me, could you share the login information to me in our app?
Absolutely. Let me just I'm going to do that
Absolutely.
just after inserting it here instead.
Of course.
So so this is the drivetrain sub-assembly. I think the machine has 5 major parts. It's the what happened now? Okay, I hid everything. So let's redo here. Insert as rigid the conveyor gears anywhere. Boom. Add a mate connector. Boom. Hit M for mate. Oh, M for mate. Mate that to the origin. Boom. Boom. Shift P hides everything. There's no save, so I don't have to save. And now, since this assembly is already in the master assembly, the gears are now in the master assembly as well.
Boom, bada boom.
So while it's fun looking at all these parts, I'm really looking forward to getting them out of there. I want to do one more. I'm going to help you soon. I'm thinking actually going more perhaps brass and old wood design. So I think for these pedals, I'm like this yellow feels like plywood, like what should I call it? Like unpainted plywood. And I think these should have an older wood look. So I just want to...
It should look used.
Yeah, it should look like 200 years old.
Yeah, because they're gonna be used.
Yeah. So I don't know which one I used. That's okay. I'm gonna do a custom color. Let's see if I was lucky. I think that's actually the same color. That's okay. Let's do the pulleys. These, I think, is going to be metal. We're not going to make this small pulleys for a chain. So I think we're going to go with this gray for the pulleys for now. The darker one is quite beautiful. Let's just go with a light gray, which we already have as a custom color. Okay. I think the color coding helps. It looks a bit better. Okay, I'm going to help Hannes here with the task.
Thank you so much. And while I do that, I will read from a comment from Terje Josefsson. This live stream has a bad influence on my debuteringsgrad at work. I need to explain to my avdelningschef that this day might be slightly less productive. And I guess this will be a common theme now from a lot of Wintergatan viewers. I mean, send your boss here and make it mandatory for the entire team to watch this. I think we will just bump up the productivity, having us in the background.
Yeah, invite the boss to the stream. That's a great solution. All right. So doing some stream setting up here. This is the first stream we're doing, so we're setting up some stuff still. You can keep the radio going while I'm focusing here on us.
Yeah, and for those of you tuning in, yes, Wintergatan has now turned into doing more live streams. We haven't set the exact days yet, but as many as possible, both on the morning for us here and on the afternoon. So we're just going to take a break for lunch, and then we're going to be back streaming. And this will be several days per week, and then on Wednesdays, Wintergatan Wednesday will be back with a recap video telling all the great progress Martin has done with the machine during the week. So for those of you who can't watch all the live streams, you have on Wednesdays, you have a recap video to look forward to. And now I got notifications from Martin. So thank you so much. I will dive into this.
Yep.
You take over.
Yeah, we'll dive into setting the master part model up correctly. I'm trying to name everything. So far we have this in the subassembly of the drivetrain, which is pretty fun to see the start of the drivetrain. And I think we're gonna continue from this smaller gear here, conveyor gear 1, and refine what's happening next. So we have a second pair of gears here. I want to work my way up to this flywheel blob here and make that beautiful. But let's address... Okay, I think this shaft should also be in the previous part studio. So conveyor shaft... I call that conveyor shaft. I'm trying to name things good. Conveyor drive shaft and conveyor shaft. That's not good naming. Conveyor shaft 1. I'm going to rename this too. So it's easy to know what part I'm working with. So I want to add that shaft into this part studio. So I'm deriving from the master part blob claim, space claim model. Here, and now I know it's conveyor shaft 1 I want to find.
And Martin, you will have received a text now.
Okay, I'll
send it to me.
Yes, I'll send Hannes I'll send Hannes some text here to set everything up in the stream. So here's the conveyor shaft 1 that we also want to derive. Okay. I've learned this already. You cannot derive twice in the same part studio. So I tried to derive a second time and that failed. It turned red, as you can see here. So we need to delete that feature and we need to go into the first derive feature and add that shaft. Conveyor shaft 1 there. And there it turned up. Okay, great. So we have the shaft here in this studio. And I want to edit appearance to give it our classic gray kind of metal thing. All right. That shaft should now have turned up also here in the subassembly. It's in here now. And the length of this shaft, the width of this shaft is not decided yet. I'm building up a model that I can easily change. So now we can start working on the next gear pair. These two. So I'll make a new part studio. I wonder if we should just make a part studio with all this now. No, I should probably consistent with, so I only do 1 gear per part studio. That's probably way too many part studios in the end. I've never done this before, so I don't know exactly the best practices. I have to kind of try it before I learn how to do it. New part studio, rename conveyor gears 2. Gears 2. And then we're deriving. Now I'm going to derive the shaft as well. from the beginning. So we're going into the blob model, conveyor gear 2A and 2B, and conveyor flywheel shaft. That's the shaft. Yeah. Boom. So let's just give all the metal look. Boom, boom. I have to say boom every time I change color.
Yeah. That is the rule.
Obviously. I want this one. Oh, okay, nice. I see if I'm using the custom color. Good, I like that. But that's going to be, Okay, let's do it like that. I don't have to add more details to these, but we're gonna add this subassembly into our drivetrain subassembly. Insert as rigid, conveyor gears 2. It's loose. So this is just going to be exactly the same procedure. Add mate connector. There we have the mate connector. Show origin, hit M for mate. And now we're mating this mate connector with the origin. And it bounces into place perfectly. Shift P hides everything, and we can move on. So we're building up the true model here. If we go to our master assembly, we can see that our new gears should have turned up, but they haven't. Why? Oh, now they turned up. So it's a huge mess in here right now. It's because, and it's old Higgins drive and everything. So it's because basically I'm replacing everything we're seeing here with the new and correct CAD. To be able to design the drivetrain. So that's the goal for the stream, to fix where everything is going. For example, I'm looking very much forward to find a place for the flyball governor, because I think that is one of the most beautiful things on this machine, and I really want to display that. But I also want to display the Higgins drive, which we're doing really well now. So I want to spend time on finding a beautiful position for the flyball governor. It's kind of, I have some darlings that helps me kill other darlings. When I get a large flywheel and a good position for the Higgins drive, I can kill perhaps movement of the instrument when being hit even. There's some darlings that helps me kill other darlings. I have some favorite darlings. And seeing the Higgins is one of those. Okay, let's finish the conveyor part of the drivetrain. For everyone who aren't familiar, I'm doing all the green parts in this sketch here. This is the drivetrain that I figured out from a lot of years of research on how to turn a shaft with great precision mechanically without using electric motor. And this shaft is, this whole system is what we're designing here. And the green part, the conveyor part, ends with this flywheel. We have 2 flywheels in the drivetrain. So new part studio, boom. Rename that to conveyor flywheel. I call half of the drivetrain conveyor drivetrain and half of the drivetrain music drivetrain. That's how it's split up. Conveyor is green, music is red here. Oh, Hannes has removed himself from the stream. I just see.
Nobody want to see me just extremely focused on trying to solve technical stuff.
It's actually good because then I can show the whole parts list here that you hide otherwise. So
yeah, I let you ramble on now while I try to fix this.
Yeah.
And hopefully I have good news soon. I'm halfway there.
Halfway there. Ooh. Living. I have actually written a text for my daughter to that song. Woof, 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 woof. Il lever som en prärievarg. Woof, 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 woof. Il lever som en prärievarg.
You hear, people, you don't have to question his sanity. He still got it.
And musicality. What did you think about my text? Il. I love that one.
Yeah, that's what makes it a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, thank you. Conveyor flywheel derive. Select part studio. It's so fun having company, Hannes, by you and everyone else. I feel we're gonna do this every day.
Yeah, basically.
Conveyor flywheel. I really like my life is set up now in such a more stable fashion than what it's been like the last years since Marble Machine X failed, and we're just trying to find this like systematic approach that will eat the elephant bit by bit, and it feels like this streaming approach might be a really good step in that direction.
Yeah, to keep you focused on what you're supposed to do,
Yep.
CADing and not making videos.
Yep.
So now I'm forcing you to sit down and just work.
Yes, just work, Martin. So on this flywheel, I want to add some of the spokes as well, because I want to add some details. So I'm going to do the same procedure here in this part studio. I'm trying to manipulate the position of there. I think we found it. No, of a mate connector. Can I redo? I don't know how to redo. So it's the same thing again here. Music flywheel. Oh, it's in here, of course. Conveyor flywheel. So I want to create a mid plane to sketch on. So there's there, I think. Yeah. Now the mate connector is in the middle of the design, which I think is good CAD practice. And we're gonna sketch on that plane. And I'm gonna use symmetry by hitting U and using these. This is basically exactly what we did for the gear. It's going to be fun to decide if these gears are all plywood. I don't think they will be. I think they will have an inner steel construction. And I'm even thinking, this might be crazy, I'm even thinking that we maybe should cast iron the hubs of the gears. That will look amazing, because that's how old gears were made. I think that would be like crazy, and then add like plywood double helical teeth to them. I don't know. We haven't decided that yet. Extrude. I should actually just do a starting offset. Do it the other way around. 20. And then up to face. This face. And then remove. Boom. Oh, instead of extrude again, I can mirror this. Mirror. What's that sound? This feature.
Do you hear stuff now, Martin?
You sound strange now, Hannes. You have a robot voice all of a sudden.
Oh no.
Can someone... Can chat say if you also hear Hannes as a robot?
Am I a robot?
What is happening now?
I turned into Hannes 3000 all of a sudden.
Mirror the extrude feature over the mate connector. What's new on your side, Hannes? Because
both of you sound is very strange now. Martin Robotic Arc.
Both of us.
The audio is bit crushed, Martin. Yeah, it's bad audio.
Yeah, okay.
It's high pitched, eerie.
Yeah, I hear it too. Strange.
Everybody's a robot.
Whoa. So that's after some time. We're gonna see. Whoa. Okay, sorry everyone. I have to troubleshoot this audio issue. Thank you for helping us out. It's like something creeping up in the stream after some time. Okay, I see. Huh. Is Alphonse muted?
Yes.
Yes, it's some kind of. Oh, we are really.
Am I a robot too?
Okay, you're a very loud robot as well.
Oh, sorry.
So yeah, you can mute yourself again. Okay, we're going to
Investigate.
restart some stuff here. I just don't understand what this can be. It's obviously some kind of feedback because I'm also hearing it, which is weird. I'm going to go over to the streaming mix. Let's hear how this sounds. Okay. Okay, audio will be back for some time. Or is it gone now? Did you hear the robot sound, Hannes?
No,
You,
I didn't hear anything.
to me, it disappeared now. Can chat go?
Fixed. Someone said fixed.
No, it
Sound is
sounds
good now.
here.
Okay, this is very weird. I just changed presets on my sub mix, and this. I think this that robot sound will return with time, perhaps. Okay, we're all good. Let's continue on the flywheel then. We'll investigate.
It's good. We did it. Awesome job, Martin. Now if I only can fix the
We'll investigate later.
X chat as
Okay.
well.
Thank you everyone for helping us and being patient with us in the beginning here. I tried to be fancy to mirror this extrude feature. I don't actually understand why it didn't work. I'm gonna mirror a feature. I'm gonna mirror this extrude. And I'm gonna mirror it over why can't I mirror it over? Oh, wait. Now I see. Choose the mirror plane. Oh, I think I forgot to hit reapply features. No? Okay, Onshape pros are pulling their hair now. Let's not do it that way. Let's do it the same way we did the other one. I don't like it, but anyway. Also, something that is really nice with the live streams is that we're going to be able to take in help live, and we're going to be able to get advice from engineers live. Looking very much forward to that. And we're also preparing so we can have guests on stream, collaborators.
Yeah.
So the spokes looks a bit better. Let's make this same fillet trick select equal length. It's not as beautiful as I wanted later, but it looks fun, and we're going to do the same coloring. We're going to do the metal for everything, and then we're going to add some wood faces. Add appearance to face. That took me a lot of time. I wonder how it would look to add wood also on the inside here. No. Oh, what I actually want to do is I want to add another. For this one, I want to add another extrude to make it more beautiful. So now, for everyone really following this master part method, that I try to make everything not parametric, everything follow from the original blob. I don't want to make a circle now that I give a constraint with a number. I don't want to say you are 744 millimeters, because that circle won't change when we change the size of the blob in the master part. Instead, what I want to do is that I want to offset, or I want to tell this circle to have a specific distance from this circle, for example. So if I now say that you are 40, I actually want it 38. It will always be 38 millimeters from that circle, and so it will shift correctly when I change the size in the blob thing, because we need to change the size of these gears a lot to move them around later, and then I want all these details to. I don't want the CAD to break, basically. So thinking about constraints is something I'm learning. Here's another gripe I have with Onshape. It's hard to choose a sketch face through a part. I have to hide the part, and then I can choose this. So then I need to kind of show the part again. I don't like that. Now starting offset of 35. I'm going to go up to face. I'm going to remove. Yes. And I need to do the same thing again. This is just to make it. So now I want to choose this sketch thing, and I have to hide the part again. I think it's annoying. But anyway. Starting offset. These double extrusions are not professional. I know that. It's just what it is. Starting offset. There. That didn't go good, right? Okay, now I'm making a fool of myself on stream here. The gears are not in the middle. I didn't think this through, really. Offset 20 millimeters there. And what did I do on the other one? I forgot the offset. Okay. 20. It's not going well for me now, Hannes.
What?
I know it's a surprise.
What?
I know it's a surprise. I need to see what I'm doing wrong here. Up to face. This face. It looks correct here. We're not going to add, we're going to remove. Annoying. Okay. Welcome everyone to my life.
What is life if it's not about learning every day? And I'm trying to learn stuff as well here. I'm not a computer hacksaw, as I call them.
Hacksaw. Starting offset. Up to face. Remove. Okay. I should just make a revolve, perhaps, but that's not good either. Something is going wrong here. All my spokes are disappearing, and I don't understand why. I'm doing some noob mistake here. So I want to extrude this face. Nice. I want to extrude the other direction. Nice. But I want to have a starting offset of 20. We can do just a long one, and it's a remove. Something is not computing, and I don't understand why. Oh wait, it's the wrong directions, right? Okay, okay. It's sorry everyone. I'm stupid. I think I got lost in the directions.
Okay. I got my test message on the X chat now.
Oh, nice.
If someone is watching on X, could you please try to text as well to see if I get a new message, or if just me, that's gonna be a lonely chat.
Okay, I got this working, and for people who knows how to CAD, they will pull their hair out a little bit, but we're partly providing that pleasure for you all.
Yes. Yes, I'm not saying to you, I'm look at the screen, Martin. Look at the screen.
Yes.
From X.
Thank you, Tram.
It seems to be working, and
Well
as
done.
well, Daniel Andersson as well. Ooh.
Hey, Daniel. Very nice.
I feel invincible. I hacked everything.
Well done, Hannes.
Oh, choo
Oh.
indeed, Tramnack. Oh, I'm so happy. Oh. Okay, now I can join the stream properly. Hello, Martin. Here I am.
Okay, nice. Nice to have you here, Hannes. Very nice to have you here. That's good, because I've been trying to make an extrude for like half an hour. So, but I think partly what's going to be fun is that people are going to see me struggle. And if you're like following us in this struggle, see how we're actually struggling, seeing me actually pull this through in the end is going to be fantastic. I'm dying on the marble machine hill, or conquering it. And
You're gonna conquer it.
I think so. Right?
But now people will get to see like how the raw footage looks that I edit every week.
Yep.
This is it, people. This is it. Now you get to see it raw, unedited.
And now you get to see me inserting the flywheel, and we're actually finishing conveyor flywheel. That's the wrong. Oh no, I did it wrong. I did not do it as one part.
And we have a question here.
Yeah.
Hannes, can you move yourself to the orbital cube at the top right instead? Is that perhaps a good layout for the stream? We can't change it right now, but that's something we can do off stream.
Yes, it's
Our placement, so I don't obscure the menus in Onshape.
yeah. That could be a good idea. We have to mirror you, so it looks like you're also looking at the machine. If so,
I'm trying to look away.
look up and to the right. He doesn't want to see this anymore.
I'm seated off.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, that's something. I should write it down on a post-it note.
Put it. You make a. Chat really, that's really the highest of honor when you get yourself onto Hannes post-it notes.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a big deal.
Add mate connector to origin. This took me a lot of time, but soon I pulled through. I folded the extrusion in on itself. That's why the gears, the spokes disappeared. Because I messed up the directions. Do you see here, Hannes, the beautiful flywheel? This is a little metal edge here, and then you have the old wood.
I'm just gonna show post-it note.
Oh, the post-it note.
It's official. Let's see if we can make that happen.
Mm. It's a good idea actually, because yeah. Thank you. Who said that?
My memeplex.
My memeplex. Thank you.
And just so all the different chats know, I will try to look through all the chats and read it, but I will not highlight every question that comes up because I don't want to derail Martin too much. But if it's a good comment about me, for sure it will be up. Just kidding.
He's there.
Just only
where there's
slightly
smoke, there's
kidding.
fire. Everyone
Oh, yes.
on Hannes.
That's how you get in. You need to butter me up first, and then I will highlight it, of course.
The guy who has a picture of himself as a screen, as the background screen on his iPhone.
I have changed it since then. Okay.
What do you?
Not my girlfriend. No.
What do you have now then?
I have Luffy from One Piece.
Oh,
That's how cool I am.
that's some good Hannes lore right there. All right, we have made the green parts, and so to any new viewers, what we're trying to achieve here is that I will be able to move this stuff around. So let's do something like that. Let me move. I think I need to go into this sketch. So let's say now, I've tried to connect everything so everything moves. Let's say now for some reason we think, so this little gear is not constrained, and that's by design. So let's say I want it up here instead. Why does it? I want it up there. The whole flywheel will move as well. Boom. So this flywheel moved with that, and in the master assembly, the flywheel will have moved as well. It's taking some time to...
The anticipation, it's building. Oof.
So now the flywheel is in a new position there. But that's not all. The most important thing is that if I all of a sudden wants to change the size of this wheel, so I can basically, I'm trying to build a model where I can move positions and sizes, and everything works. So let's do something crazy. I like to do crazy stuff when I show this. Now we're gonna make this flywheel 8 meters. So the blob looks crazy like this, but the flywheel should compute. It does. All the details I added in here works, even though I made it 8 meters. And if we go to the master assembly, we're gonna have an 8 meter flywheel there. It hasn't updated yet. Wait for it. There. So kind of being able, that's what Derek, like, I can't thank Derek Van Allen enough, but what Derek taught me is this method to be able to do both details and large decisions in one design document. So that's kind of what we're trying here. So when I try to set things up, it's a little bit slow, but it's because I'm setting it up for success later. So let's actually also redo that movement of the sketch. There we go. For example, here, Hannes, we have a shaft that goes straight through a gear. We have to fix that later.
And Eric is wondering here, those are temporary colors, right?
Absolutely. So we're going a bit more into the color coding in the sub-assembly. So here's a little bit more, but these are also temporary colors.
Wood-ish.
So I'm leaving actually the blob parts colored like this to kind of make it clear that this is not a machine. This is just a controlling document.
Yeah. And also easily sorted.
All right, let's continue our journey. We're going to, I think I'm going to do...
And just to make it even, you got a question, I just get a statement. Fabulous beard, Hannes. Thank you so much. I don't play... I don't pick favorites, of course.
So here's the conveyor belt that will lift the marbles. And I think we should go into and fix now this little connection. So I chose to call that conveyor gear 3. And I don't know if you remember, Hannes, but this is the stuff I wanted to remove. But after sitting a lot by myself and looking at this, I've decided to keep them in. Because thanks to this timing belt, we can choose speed of the conveyor gear independently from speed of everything else. Speed and so we didn't make any videos about that, but we're gonna keep this pair in. So now I want to make a part studio of those. So I hit the plus.
And I remove myself.
And that's good. Then we'll see everything. Create part studio. We're gonna rename this conveyor gears 3. And then it's the same as always. We're deriving. We're going to try to derive everything in one derive feature. It's in the master part. Conveyor gear 3A and its mate 3B and the belt. And I'm not even sure it's going to be... Yeah, I did it. Oh, I actually also want the shaft in here. So we're gonna see if we can find that. I'm not sure if we're gonna use gears or belts. We're gonna use some kind of gearing. Conveyor shaft 1. So now I want this shaft actually. I know it's this one, but I'm gonna rename it to shaft 3. So we're going back here. And these names in the master blob part space claim is going to propagate through the whole design. Conveyor shaft 3. Shaft 3.
I just want to say that wow from X says, this is something that I was always waiting for. And that is so fun to hear. And it's also so fun that we're actually streaming on 3 different platforms at the same time. And I can see everything that you're writing. So we are currently on YouTube, we're on Twitch, we're on X. This is fantastic. So fun to have you guys here.
Yeah, thank you, Joao. I'm really happy to have your company. We're hoping that we're gonna become better and better at this with practice, and it's going to be our live stream rig can handle 20 cameras at the same time. So we're gonna add cameras to the entire studio, cooler cameras than this one.
But you see a nice looking plywood gear right there.
So we're gonna add cameras into the CNC machine, and we have these angles, and we have this angle, and I also want to add like on top of the table camera that I can sketch on paper in. Let's do CAD. Is it CAD small, Martin? Yeah. So we're hopefully going to live stream, and then when this design is getting better, we're going to start like to also live stream like the CNC machining, building of parts, assembly of parts, and
It'll be so much fun.
I think it's already fun, but it's kind of all of you who are here right now. You're like the true
You're
friends.
Witnessing the beginning. And it's also pretty awesome that I'm sitting across the country and I can control all this. Like I can zoom in on Martin's screen from here. And I can change all the angles and stuff like that. So I have total control over Martin's work.
Yep. So we have the conveyor gears 3. We're gonna add that to the drivetrain assembly. It's gonna pop up right here. Insert as a rigid part. Conveyor gears 3. And I'm showing everyone this every time. It doesn't end up at the perfect spot. But then we're adding mate connector to instance origin, which will give us that reference that we need to mate that mate connector to the assembly's origin. And boom, boom, it's right there. Shift P hides everything. Okay. So all these parts I have full control over, and they're perfectly customizable. And I know that the CAD isn't breaking. So this, Hannes, is the beginning of the marble machine. I think
The heart.
some of this CAD will actually be made eventually and become a part on the marble machine. So I'm not only sketching, I'm actually CADing a bit as well. So let's continue with the conveyor belt itself. That's the thing here, and we're gonna make a part studio.
And I got a question here. I'm curious about the setup, Hannes. Could you share it with us on a separate time? And we should definitely do that. We actually did a video about our whole video capture rig and our live streaming setup. But it wasn't up to snuff to be released as a main video on the channel. It is still available as a members exclusive video. We tacked it on at the end of one of those. So there is one out there, but perhaps we should do a more in-depth look sometime, because it is a pretty cool setup we have here actually. So that's a good question.
We will share. We will share it. Do you have? Can you send to me in WhatsApp my diagram, Hannes, that I made? I can just show it real quick.
I will give that to our producer Alphonse. He will. I don't have WhatsApp available right now.
Alphonse, can you share my PDF that I sent?
Your PDF.
Yeah, the PDF I made for the library. I just want to show someone the PDF I made, the black and white thing. It's in WhatsApp chat, I think. I can just show.
The spider web.
The spider web of the rig. Okay, I'm derailing myself.
Yeah.
Conveyor belt, derive. I'm gonna try to keep on track here. Master part, marble machine. Conveyor belt. Okay, now I think we're entering. I think I have 2 conveyor belt in the master part. So now we're getting to the fun part of the cleanup. I'm gonna delete some of the old stuff because I have. You see, here's a conveyor. This thing, and we're not going to use that anymore because I'm going to go in and delete this. I wonder if it deletes also the features then. So this is new to me. So we have triad transform. I want to delete all those. I'm going to delete that feature. Do we have other feature? Extrude conveyor. I'm going to delete that feature. Then the part is deleted as well, I think. Conveyor belt, conveyor drive, conveyor idler top. So now we're cleaning it up, deleting the old stuff. And now when I go to conveyor belt, I will be able to derive the correct one. So we're premiering this live stream by not doing a lot of design, by doing almost the most boring thing we can do. But I really,
What are you talking about? You're cleaning up.
I really love to show. I really love to show that I'm trying to start this project correctly. Like that's something that I'm not doing well. There should be a conveyor idler there. Those are the 3 parts I want. That we're starting this project. We're trying to start in a productive way.
And I have a question here from Greasy.
Yeah.
Will the conveyor be an actual belt or a series of linkages like on MMX? Or is this too early to decide, Martin?
That's a great question. And I think you're absolutely on point with your last comment there. We don't need to decide now. What we're in the stages of we want something that lifts the marbles, and we're gonna decide exactly later. I think some kind of chain with followers. I think, and it's also a great question because those decisions will be made inside this document. So here we're just setting the shape of the master part, and then we go to the part studio. It's in here that I will then change this thing that looks like a belt into a chain. I will change these cylinders into a chain pulley or whatever. We're going to add all the details in here, and then that will propagate into the drivetrain subassembly here. So I don't even know that this connection is going to be 2 gears. Maybe it's 2 pulleys with a timing belt. So we're going to leave. There's also like a big challenge right now. Some decisions we should not leave open. For example, how the vibraphone, how the instruments are sitting. We have to like freeze that as soon as we can. But some decisions we can do for later. It's really hard to know what decisions to do first and what decisions we can wait with. I'm learning the hard way. So now I'm looking for the conveyor belt, and it's this one, I think. We're gonna add that, and we're going to do the same circus here. Add mate connector to instance origin. Boom. Make the origin visible. Hit M for fastened mate. And the conveyor belt hops into place. Let's see. Yeah, it's the wrong PDF file. It's in the WhatsApp chat.
I tried to do it off air.
Yeah. No, that's part of why we scrapped the video, because it was the wrong PDF in there. I wanted to show my PDF. So I think we can go over to the master assembly and clear away some old conveyor belts here now. Oh, it's disappeared actually. So now we have the new conveyor belt, and slowly we're removing all the fake CAD and inserting the real CAD. Real quote unquote. So let's see what next. Now we actually have the entire conveyor belt drivetrain. And let's check here. I am a little bit worried about how much power input I can give into the system, but when it's going to be hard to start the machine. It's going to be a long acceleration ramp up. But when we are on kind of coasting speed, there's not going to be, like from this gear to this gear, it's not going to do a lot of hard work because this is already rotating, because the flywheel is rotating. So I think like how the gear train will work when we're coasting is that there's not a lot of forces on anything. The forces are applied when we're accelerating, and when we're accelerating slowly, there's also not a lot of forces applied. So these gears aren't like, they are not like, I want to explain it to you, Hannes, like the gears are not taking a bashing when the machine is playing music. They're like slowly accelerating the machine up, slowly, adding a bit of pressure. So the forces will be pretty low. What's going to be really sad is the weight of the marbles. We can't have the large marbles because I won't be able to lift that. So that's why I'm thinking of like larger wooden marbles or something for some instruments.
I have a comment right up your alley here.
Yeah.
Flywheel is clearly not big enough.
Who said that? Ardhin. This is someone that I vibe with.
I'm a man of the people.
Don't worry, we're working our way up until this flywheel is. But if you think this flywheel isn't really big enough, then
Martin agrees.
Then I love you even more. Yes. Let's do. I think the next. So now this key to understand what we're doing here is that this shaft is holy. This shaft splits the drivetrain to the conveyor and to the music side. And the music side starts here on this Higgins ratchet. So let's do the Higgins drive now, which is the beginning of the music side. And I'm excited. I want to make this weight look nice. Probably not now, but I'm excited for those. So we're going to do new part studio.
And here's a question, Martin. I just throw this out there from Passblow. Is the idea to start and stop the machine between each song due to the change of programming pins? It feels like a lot of time between songs.
I love when I realize that people are understanding the machine so well. So Passblow, you're on point. We're not going to do that. We're going to have a clutch that breaks the connection to the programming wheel, and everything else must maintain speed. I think it's going to take 10 minutes to wind the machine up, and we don't want that. So we're going to pull a clutch, just like in a car, stop the programming wheel, change the music on the programming wheel, and then connect the clutch again, like a friction clutch, so the programming wheel can ramp up slowly. So not like dunk and it has to go into gear, but some kind of friction clutch. So just like a car, perhaps we can even like use a car clutch or something. So spot on. The machine will keep on rotating between songs.
Great. And I think our producer has supplied you with a PDF file now, Martin, as well.
Then let me try.
And I will do this.
Oh, yeah, good. We had the same idea here. Yeah, so someone asked about the
our video / streaming
setup,
rig.
Yeah, and I'm going to try to add it as a browser tab here. If I can do that.
So you get a little idea how all this is set up. The spider web of cables and hardware, software, and everything in between to make this stream work. It is pretty fascinating, actually, how we're able to do this, because I'm not in the same town as Martin at all.
Okay. Let's go to CAD small Martin. Or no, we're taking Hannes as well.
Oh, yay!
Yes. Okay, something's wrong there. Let me just fix that. Dismiss. Okay. Sign on the dotted line. Here it is. So this is the setup. And I know this is not saying a lot to anyone, but to people who it does says a lot. You can pause this screen and see how we're connected to everything. And some things are really already out of date. but we are everything is connected with Autumn video mixer from Blackmagic Design with 20 channels in, and then we're sending the whole stream to a Blackmagic HyperDeck, which is sending the stream to an Intinur interface that is splitting the stream in 3 parts for YouTube, Twitch, and X. But we're also recording the original stream on a cloud pod. The cloud pod is synced to Hannes and Alphonse, so that's kind of the data handling. And the camera inputs, I'm very proud of especially this. We are adding a color grading LUT to the micro converter here from HDMI to SDI. So we can actually color grade each camera source before the stream. And then yeah, we had some Apple TV to get Hannes in. We're actually replaced that with Microsoft Teams, and I have to deal with Microsoft, which feels strange. And then we have all these stream decks with BitFocus Companion on everything runs on 10G router, and we have the audio mix through RME Fireface audio mixer, and we're using a fantastic open source software called Sonobus, which gives great audio quality remote. And just a huge shout out to Ludwig, my studio neighbor, who has actually designed this system and worked with me. I've designed it together with him, but he's the brain behind this.
And speaking about Ludwig, he just commented here, producing another show myself, so I'm unable to watch with sound on. So please wave if you want to say hi back.
Yeah,
so I'm waving to Ludwig right now.
That's the Ludwig who designed this thing. So yeah, we will try to stay on focus, but it's really fun also to talk to you all about random stuff as well. But I'm going to be really staying on target as much as possible. We should make another video showing all those things.
Yeah.
So, for example, we're not using any SD cards in cameras. Everything is recorded to hard drive. It's really, really nice. So let me find all the Higgins parts. Now I'm happy I named everything Higgins.
Look at that.
Yeah.
You are growing up.
And who was Higgins, Hannes?
Oh, wow. A good heavy guy, I guess.
Yeah, he was a heavy hitter in astronomy and physics in Netherlands during the 1600s.
Okay.
I just find it so fun that the Higgins drive was like the missing piece of the puzzle to my marble machine. So I feel I have a relationship with this mathematician from the Renaissance. The belt I missed. All right, let's make this a bit more better with colors. I like this dark gray for the belts. And for the wheels, these are gonna be metal wheels. I don't want. Okay, I accidentally chose the belt there. I have to go in and out of the appearance feature to change color. I haven't learned yet how to not do that. There we go. And I think we should add some of the shafts here. I'm always adding the next shafts. I think we're gonna add in the drive, we're also gonna add the Higgins drive shaft. This is where the music starts. Do we have a Higgins drive shaft? Okay, I have to go to the master part model to see what that's called. It's this one. Music gear shaft. I want to end like I'm trying to make a convention for my CAD that I'm ending every part studio with the shaft going to the next module. So it's that's kind of how I choose what parts to include in what, because the shaft is obviously used also in the next module. So music gear shaft. Why is it named like that? it should just be music shaft 1. So let's rename it. Rename music shaft 1.
And is this true? Higgins invented both the drive and the flyball governor.
What?
If that is true, that is a true rock star.
Is that from my memeplex?
Yeah. That is crazy.
Because that was the 2 missing pieces then.
Yeah.
Wow.
Higgins to the rescue.
Now we have the shaft here. We're gonna make that gray as well. Is that true?
I don't know.
I
want to believe it.
I've added an idler here, which I don't know is... Do you remember that the weight on my prototype was falling sometimes, making a horrible sound?
Yep.
Because the chain was slipping here. Because down here, we need the weights as well. Yeah. I was going to say, down here is going to be a weight. I forgot to include the weight. This huge weight, I've checked, like, we might make it like 300 kilos or something.
Nice.
So we have the counterweight and we have the main weight. Now I really realize why it's great to put Higgins in front. I thought maybe that naming convention was a bit long, but then all the Higgins end up like alphabetically next to each other in all these lists, because we're going to have a lot of parts here. So I'm actually going to so here's the weights. So I added this idler because I wanted more connection on the chain and this pulley to avoid that slipping. So do you see what I mean? This belt is wrapping around this pulley tighter thanks to this.
Yeah.
We could even put this pulley like to the left in here, so it's like wrapping a full revolution. Perhaps I'm gonna do that. All right, let's clean up the naming. That's behind Hannes. So I'm gonna hide Hannes.
Yes.
And
Be gone.
we're going to go in the main weight. I'm gonna rename that Higgins main weight. Same for the counterweight. Here. So yeah. I'm just trying to be very disciplined now. And the music shaft, should that be called Higgins music shaft? It can be called Higgins music shaft. Or music, yeah, okay. It's in that subassembly, so it's gonna called Higgins music shaft. Yes, it's clean, and we can invite Hannes back.
Oh.
So now we're gonna insert the Higgins drive into the drivetrain assembly. Here, insert. We want to choose as a rigid part, and we're gonna find Higgins in the alphabetical list. It feels good, Hannes. It feels like I am actually starting to grapple how a master part model workflow works.
Mm-hmm. It also feels good. We're setting into the whole streaming. The nerves are disappearing slowly, right?
Did you hear on my voice in the intro that I was nervous?
We both were so nervous. There's so many technical stuff that can go wrong. But they really didn't.
We had the robot voice once.
Yeah.
And that was super weird. I have no clue where that happened.
Yeah, we will learn. Blackster is wondering, does OnShape don't have something called folders?
Oh, that's a good one.
That might be good for sorting stuff, right?
Good point, Blackster. I'm going to make a folder right after mating this.
Keep order.
Because that's a good... Something is going wrong here. Okay, that one was chosen. Mate, select that one, select this one, and it jumps into position. You see how beautiful this is going to be? Like with these weights.
Crazy.
It's going to be sweet. Let's make the folders Blackster is talking about. I'm actually already using one folder. So down here on the bottom, I have so many part studios now. And we should create a folder. Create folder. Here's the folder. It's called drivetrain. No, wait, I have. Okay, wait, I have to check through everything. Do I already have? Here's some folders. I have drums, gears. What I have in the gear folder. These are all the old stuff, so we don't want to use that. We're gonna use my new drivetrain folder. And I can just, I'm a little bit new to this, so let's put it here. Then I guess we can just pull Higgins drive into the, yeah. So I'm just pulling them in here to the folder. You see that? Or is it behind Hannes? No. Conveyor flywheel. Paddle pulls and chain. So now all the tabs are more manageable and I can open this folder like this.
Perfect. Glorious.
Yeah. Thanks for reminding me. Blackster.
Blackster.
That's why it's so fun to live stream. We can really get input.
Yeah, and I just want to say Tramnack is just checking the X chat again and it's still working. So good. Thank you for checking.
That's great. Okay, so we're starting to near the point where I'm going to start to design stuff, because we're almost done all these parts now. And actually the next part we already have an issue, because this shaft is going straight through this gear, and that won't work. So let's add these two parts. Music gears 1 we're gonna do now. Create part studio. Rename music gears 1. I'm trying to keep every pair of gears in the same part studios. Derive music gears. Oh, okay, I first have to go into this one. All this is going to disappear soon. We're gonna clean also these lists up.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
The cleanup.
The cleanup. These are the gears. Music gear 1A, 1B. Also, I think I need to add the output shaft from this. Oh, I haven't actually made it yet. So we reached the end of the... That's perfect, actually, that we got that far during this first stream. Then I can finish this and we can start on the next stream with the next task. So there's no more parts. Music gear 1. Let's just make them... We're gonna make them wooden colored. That's fine. And we're gonna add them to the drivetrain. Like we always do, insert as part rigid, down to M, music gears, inserting, free floating, that's correct, because we're gonna add the mate connector, and then we're going to mate that connector to the origin. And now we have to focus because there's another mate connector here. We don't want to add, we want to be very clear in how we set up connections. So I'm going to first hide that old mate connector from the Higgins because I don't want to mate the new assembly to the mate connector. I want to mate to the origin. So by having that hidden now, we know that this connection is the healthiest connection we can have. So now we have this issue here with the shaft. So let's try solving that. And we can solve that in different ways. For example, we can make the gear smaller, which is probably a good idea. So perhaps this is going to be a bought metal gear, a helical metal gear. I don't need to do all these gears myself in plywood. So we can go into the sketch of this gear and make it smaller until it's clearing this shaft. We could also lower that shaft in the Higgins. Let's do a combination because we still want this gear to be large. So we're already clearing it here actually. 400 is still a big gear.
Mm-hmm.
See, everything follows there. It's a bit tight there still. But let's do that. And then we check the assembly. Okay. So now is the question how I'm going to connect this next output shaft to the big flywheel. And that's why I kept all the old parts in here, because I want to draw inspiration from how we did it, Hannes, in the video where we did all these gears.
Mm-hmm.
So basically where we are now, we're at this little wheel. So we need to do some kind of nice, we need a large gear. Okay. Oh yeah, and this next shaft is also going to the music gearbox. So it's depending on a lot of things, this next shaft. So perhaps I need to move this whole thing over to the right, which should be pretty simple. Let's first create this shaft.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be music shaft 2. And I'm gonna start from this sketch. I'm gonna make an extrusion. Can I reach that here?
And people are restless out there. They want to know now. Are we getting the shaker module and the carousel?
Oh.
And yes, as we said on the earlier video, the shaker module will be on the machine, right? The carousel is up for debate.
So did they also ask about the carousel?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's from Vastafari34. I'm happy you also mentioned the carousel. Okay. I can let you in on a secret that I wanna make this design so well that I can include them. But I won't like start with including them now. Just when I see that I get everything working that needs to be in there, we're gonna sprinkle them in on top. But if I'm having issues like making basically the CAD will, I want to work for having them, but if the CAD shows me that I'm not a good designer enough, that I will still be doing this 5 years more if I try to include them, I will kill them to finish this machine. But so back of my mind, and basically I'm very stubborn. If I have something back of my mind, I never give it up.
What?
I don't want to give up on those two, but I'm not including them now. So yes, they're gonna be
Yeah.
on the machine.
They're gonna be. So conclusion is yes.
Okay,
At least the shaker module.
I did a common beginner mistake here. I extruded this shaft, but check, I extruded them as an add feature, which made the shaft part of the pulley. It has to be new to be a new part. The color gave it away. Now I see that the shaft has another color. And we have some new features here. And I'm going to be very stubborn with naming. Extrude Higgins music shaft 1. And this one is, this feature is extrude music shaft 2. And then I'm going to name the part. So now we're actually getting into the designing here and not only cleaning up. Rename music shaft 2. And, oh, sorry, I'm going to... Oh, I'm behind Hannes there. So, but we're done with that. So now we have yet another issue. This shaft is going straight through this wheel. So that's basically what I'm going to try to address now. Hopefully, I can demonstrate how good my CAD is right here and right now. Because there's no real reason that this wheel is so far to the left. So if we can move everything over to the right, I think that would be great.
Fingers crossed.
So let me see if I remembered all the connections. If we start already... I just want to... I don't remember exactly how I made the planes. Extrude plane pedal pulley. I offsetted it from the shaft. All right. So this first shaft is quite powerful. So with this extrude, I can move quite a lot of stuff. So I'm going to move it there. Let's see what follows. Oh, everything.
Whoa.
Which is actually quite handy. I'm happy for that. So did you see how everything followed?
Mm-hmm.
This one is badly CADed. It should stay there. So let's make it a bit shorter still. The whole drivetrain is sliding to the right. So where then are we going to move? What's the plane? I wonder if I did it with this shaft. Let me just try. If I extrude that, will we then slide some parts to the left? No. So the plane for the Higgins drive. Oh, it's offset from this gear. Makes sense, Martin. Makes actual sense. So 450. And now Hannes, who's been with me, knows that when I do these things usually break. But they're not right now.
My goodness.
Thanks for adding the drama. 600. And check now. This shaft is no longer going through this gear. We freed up some space for it.
That is fantastic.
And all these changes are propagating to the master assembly. Not that it looks so impressive right now with this. I need some more wheels.
Yes. Can we please have more wheels in there?
I'm very happy that okay, we should... I actually left this... So you see this shaft is too short now. There's some of these extrusions that I don't want to be dependent, that I want to have manual like this. So I need to fix some stuff afterwards. Also start to see how powerful this shaft is. I think this could be a good... Oh, this flywheel. I didn't see that. This flywheel is too much towards that side now. So let's see what the plane is here. It's offset from there, makes sense. Let's tighten that up, 100. This will move to the left. And can we sneak the... Oh, we have interference there. That's not so good. So...
And while you fix that, I will read this comment here from Astro Haha was here. Hi Hannes, will there be any future community collaboration projects? If so, how would that work? Would it be like previously, people send their own designs, or will we design on the master project? And this is something that will come up in the future, and one of the big reasons why we're now sitting in Onshape as well, because of their amazing collaborative features, right?
Yeah. Thank you so much for the questions, and that's absolutely what I'm planning to do. So once I feel it's been really important for me to start listening to myself now. See what is the machine I want to build. So I'm like closing myself off for some time from feedback from others. But once I have a concept, a digital concept, not physical, a digital, which is simple to change, I'm going to start collaborating. And then we can kind of like go out and do like work on very isolated parts of this. And that is going to be in the master model. But probably in copies. And then I can bring in features from everyone. So everyone is going to get this CAD. And they can go into the pedals and work on the pedals or suggest some solutions.
Yeah. So that is in the future. Not right now, but it will be in the future.
Yeah.
Some really cool collaborative stuff that will happen. Of course. We want to involve... We know that there are a lot of brilliant engineers watching these streams. So, of course, we want to invite people to help in the future. Not right now.
And I think I'm seeing here that I don't have enough space for the flywheel, so I need to make this shaft shorter. This is basically just an exercise in finding space for everything. See that nothing is interfering. And then I need to make the Higgins plane offset. I think it was this one, also shorter. 500 perhaps. So we can then make this longer. I'm not doing actual values here. I'm just... And the flywheel is starting to enter the picture. We have a plane for the flywheel. Now I remember how I set everything up. This is an uneven number here. I just dragged it, but we're going to like slowly get all these things even. This shaft is too long. The shafts, there we go. Now nothing is interfering, and we have this shaft free to continue the music drivetrain. Which might be a good place for us to round off. We're going to do 2 streams 4 days in a week. We're hopefully going to do morning stream and after lunch stream. And we're having lunch at work hours. So we're having lunch between 12 and 1 in Sweden time. And it's...
We're adults now.
I can't tell everyone watching this how much more efficiently I'm working. Like last autumn, I sat in my studio, played chess on chess.com. and like procrastinated and didn't know what really to do. I felt like I felt I had no direction. I made like videos about sorting drawers. I'm pissed off with that video because nothing in the studio got sorted even. We're not doing that anymore. We're trying to fix the things on the critical path to make this machine on a stage. So today we have, if we show our little text again, Hannes.
Little text.
Yes, the little...
Let's see our little...
drivetrain design. basically what I've been doing is that I've been cleaning all this up, which means that everything in this assembly is serious CAD. And we fixed so nothing is interfering. And then in the next stream, next up is to get rid of more parts, to remove all these bright parts. And next, I want to find a connection up to this big wheel here. So we'll start doing that right after lunch, Hannes.
I just got a question here.
Yeah.
Hey Hannes, will you post any schedules of the streams either in the community post or in the Discord?
Good idea.
So how will we do that? They will be kind of always on the same time. That's what we're looking to do, at least.
Yeah.
So we start at the same time every day, both the streams.
Producer Alphonse, can you make some community post on YouTube with a potential streaming schedule?
Yes.
Good. That's what we want to hear. Throw stuff at you, you fix it.
So, Alphonse, what do you think about the first stream?
Nice to be with you and watch the whole thing. It was cozy, and you did really good.
Thank you.
Oh, that's our producer.
If you think we're working with people who are not hyping us up, you're wrong. Thank you, Alphonse.
But we will be back in approximately 2 hours.
Yeah. Do we have a backers screen to thank backers, or is that for the next stream?
I will have to fix that to the next stream.
Okay.
Sadly.
But we
thank you so incredibly much. We're working on our producer Alphonse has done an amazing job with a new way of presenting all the new backers. So I will try to get that working to the next stream. It's a lot of stuff that needs to be working right now. At least we got the streams working.
Yeah. And I'm focused on the machine, and Alphonse and Hannes is taking care of everything else. It's great.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Okay, then let's head off to lunch, and we see all you guys in just a couple of hours.
Awesome. Thanks for being
care.
here. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.